C major.
She said the other day, she's like, I wish y'all had some video of y'all see y'all when y'all was. I was like, no, camera.
No.
They were expensive. It was so expensive.
Yeah.
Technology was so expensive. So we weren't able to have though. You know, like I said, you can go get the camera. Someone's had the Polaroid. They print out right then.
No.
You know,
I got a lot of those.
That's a good point. When you said about, I thought about something. Let me cut you off, but
go ahead.
When you said technology was expensive, I remember like the cameras, the DVD players.
I remember when CDs first dropped.
And satellite. I mean, somebody in our neighborhood, you know, they were pharmacists, you know, they had all the good stuff down, you know. But I remember that, and but what made me think, what's so powerful about what you said was everybody didn't have access to it.
Yes.
That's the key.
That's the key.
Imagine if our society was the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, access.
Like everybody didn't have access to it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
you make a big difference.
It make a big difference, right? Because you would have to sacrifice to have technology, and then you appreciate it more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like most of
it's accessible to everybody now.
Think about like the things we had growing up, how long they lasted, the TVs, the cameras, because those were major purchases, sacrifice, and so we took care of those things. Now kids, they get a phone, they lose it, they get one. The next day, get a game system and break it, and then they get a new one. Yeah. You know, their value is lost because it's so accessible to everybody. You know, there's no sacrifice, you know, to get it. You know, and so we gotta, you know, as part of parenting, instilling that value system in our kids, you know, and trying to teach them value, and you know, in the midst of a world where people have lost value on things, you know. You think about that, so it's I mean, it's difficult. You know, it's all about it.
Well, I think the parents are different too. Versus our parents. I always say it needs to be an outlet for parents, because it seems like parents are getting younger. By the day, they need assistance as well, just as well as the young people have resources. The parents need to have resources, like in the school systems. With the parents that we see, you know, they'll be really quick to call social services on the parent without getting to the root of the problem. If they were just like a drug addict going to a facility or something, it needs to have something for the parent. You know?
And truth be told, growing up, they should have called social services more then than they do now. I mean, if you want to be honest, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think a lot, you know, and a lot of things that people overreact because, like you're saying, there's nothing for the parents. There's no outlet. There's no resources, no structure. Everything about the community, like played football growing up, like, you know, we played with the neighborhood peewee team, and the coach, he was, for the ones who didn't have fathers, he was a father to them. You know what I'm saying? And but now it's that lax, you know, especially with the AAU and everything. So, you know, money drivenness, you know, that's not the same anymore.
A lot of stuff there. Even, you know, parents are different. You know, because I think, you know, when they come to the, you spoke with the youth sports, you know, parents are different in that. You know, because again, it goes back to, you know, biasness, you know, that type of deal. Like, you know, your baby pretty good, but it's some more kids out here that's pretty good. Let them enjoy the childhood. Don't try to live it through them. You know, you missed your time and you want to live it through them. Don't try to manipulate the situation so that, you know, your child can get an advantage over the other child. Don't downplay other people. They go back to the community side. lift all the kids up.
And
That's
that's
just
just
lift up the ones you like.
I just think of that because when we grew up, think about it.
Yeah.
Like if somebody was good, basketball, football, the whole community cheered them
whole
on.
community.
Everybody was riding for that
Yes.
person, hoping that they
Even
would
if
make
you
it.
was the best, or
Yeah.
if you was the better player, they still roll with it.
Yeah.
You on our team,
Yeah,
so it don't
And
matter.
everybody, look, the
Everybody
parents,
on
I
the
mean,
team.
everybody, old
So-
folks, everybody was
And
rooting
it's not
for
like that now. You know, I've been in the basketball AAU sector some with our daughter playing. And, you know, you've seen some of the ugly side of it. You know, it's a lot of positive come out of it.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
But you see the ugly side, and the ugly side, you don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, especially as I know, I can speak for us as parents, is that, you know, we never downplay anyone else's child. You know, we never, you know, even in behind closed doors when we came home, we didn't talk about, oh, that kid can't do this and that kid can't do that.
Right.
No, we always talk to our daughter about what you can do better.
Right.
How can you be a contributor? Cheer your teammate on. You're not
Yeah.
in the game at this time. You know, cheer for them the way you would want them to cheer for you if you was the one doing it at that moment.
That's right.
You know, you ain't want, you know, find your niche. It's kind of like, you know, life. Find your niche. Find out something that's missing from the team and do it. You know,
Yeah.
That's kind of like what we kind of put on our for our child.
Yeah.
Because it's an ugly side to that. You know, when it comes to them parents and their
It
sports.
is.
Have a drunken blessing or
That is so funny. You know, I can see it. You know, like you said, parents try to put, you know, they want live their lives through their kids. You know, and so I mean, and just parenting in general, I had to learn to let go. You know, and it wasn't from that standpoint, but I had to learn to let go because I would try to protect them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep them from this happening because you know if you got a problem with my kid, you got a problem with me.
Yeah.
You know, but I had to learn how to, you know, just let it go and be like, okay, because this is the stuff they're gonna deal with in real life. You know,
Exactly.
and you can't protect them from everything. So it's like you gotta let them experience these. You know, even though we can on the outside looking in, and we can see where it's going, we gotta let them experience it.
Right.
Give them the guidance. Just give them the guidance. That they
Exactly.
Talk to them about it. You know, talk about. And I think something we don't do is sometimes parents, we don't talk about both sides.
Yeah.
Even if we on the not so good side, we
Yeah.
still gotta talk about. You know,
Right.
you can't always paint the picture as you on the right side.
Yeah.
You're not the wrong side.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that a little bit. I thought we were talking about.
Just being on the
Expand
right
it.
side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, you have to find your fault. You know,
Yeah.
I think you just have to know your fault. You know?
Yeah.
You know, you have to go back. Like, I know for me as a male,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not always an on-the-spot thinker.
Right.
So sometimes I can say something or a lot of times something can happen.
Yeah.
And after I leave the moment and come and play it back,
Right.
now I can respond better than what I would have responded to then.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I put it in perspective.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I can honestly go back and think, well, yeah, I really was wrong. You know, then let's go back and talk about that,
Yeah.
or you know, revisit that.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, I got to be able to say, you know what, you right, you was right, I was wrong. But you know, being able to do that, you know, and teaching your kids that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Going back and let them know you made a mistake.
Yeah.
That pride.
And he's really good about it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. Like I think things through. I think things all the way through before I react to it. You know. And so, you know, I always say, well, if you do, when I'm talking, if you think before you say it, then you don't have to apologize.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
know.
true, though.
Sometimes, you know, some moments won't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
I've been there too, where, you know, I just responded right then.
Yeah.
And been
Y'all
like,
trying to
it
say
is
that's
what
the
it is.
reaction.
So y'all trying to say me and Deidre are high heads. That's what y'all trying to say. So just go ahead and say it. Let the people know. Let the people know. That's what y'all trying to say. Just lay it on.
way better.
Yeah, I popped off at times, then I just had to go back and just look at it sometimes.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know, I don't think everything through, you know,
Right,
again.
right.
You know, I go back to, again, nobody's perfect.
Right.
But,
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you learn, you get wiser.
Yeah.
You get wiser. You know?
Oh, yes,
you just
wiser.
You know, you want.
Come on, Mom, and Sal.
You got to. You want the best for your kid, but you can't stop the pitfalls.
You can't.
You can't stop
You
them,
can't.
but you can prepare them. You know, where they can learn how to dust themselves off and get up and know that goal is still there. And if I keep going, I can get to it. But,
exactly.
you know, if you don't, you know, you have to instill that in them. You know, and I think, you know, sports is a good outlet for that. But for the kids, it's not in. You know, that was the challenge for me. With the second one is you don't care for sports, so I gotta find a lane where we can find our common ground. Or, you know, we gotta find our interests. We gotta find somewhere me and him can, you know, lock in, bond real good because you know I was able to bond with my daughter. You know, she was the first born and she played basketball and you know, I played ball and loved ball, coached it and we was able to you know, I was able to teach her a lot of things through that. So with the second one, now it's trying to teach him, you know, which is gonna actually grow me in a way too, in the sense that when I look at it, it's gonna grow me because now it's gonna kinda take me out of a comfort zone. So now I got to grow a little more and you know, listen a little more and you know, understand a little bit more and you know, that sort of deal. So, you know, you just or I know we said out of a comfort zone, but sometimes what happens is you go out of a comfort zone and then you go back into it. And this is what I mean is because our kids come from us. And sometimes we forget the things that we love, you know, because something else might like take basketball might take precedence. But then you have to remember that I like to read too. I like books. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, and so different things like that. You know, our kids often remind us of the things that we like that we may have forgot about. You know, and then it helps us to, like you said, grow and mature. And really just find that, you know, sometimes we find a lost part of ourselves that we have forgot about. We may have put on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? You know. I think sometimes parents don't realize, you know, how much fun it can be too, being a parent.
It
can be fun.
It is a lot of fun.
You know, you like you say, create memories. You know, you have your laughing points where you can go back and talk about it, or you can go back and laugh at a situation. You know, our pastor said something yesterday about that. You know, what it was like if you can go back and laugh at it.
You know you over.
You know you over.
It's talking about being set free.
The same thing in a parenting situation. When you can go back and y'all can laugh at a situation, you know, that wasn't laughable at first. So you can show growth. It's growth in your family. You know. So you know, I think that as parents we gotta understand it can be fun. You know, it's nothing to run from. You're not gonna miss out on anything. I think sometimes, especially being a parent early, you can think that you're gonna miss out on something. You know, you still want to live your life. You still want these opportunities, or think you still want to do this or do that. You know, you have to become unselfish in a point, but you still can accomplish what you want to accomplish. By also, you know, help building that new life that you have brought in. You can do both. It's possible. You know, we see, you know, we read stories all the time, you know, about parents making it, single parenting and this, that, you know, you see it, but, you know, we can talk about it too as parents having kids and building a life, building a career at the same time, and the struggle. We can see it from that point. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you don't have to be a single parent just to have that struggle.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying? We all can attest to, you know, what we know about each other as, you know, married couples. Hey, you know, we had our struggle being together. You know, raising kids, and you know, always financially it's always gonna be, you know, everybody. You know, you ain't, you know, unless you know your parents had already set out financially for you. You had to build your own wealth. You know what I'm saying? So trying to build that wealth and trying to build it up while raising children, you know, it takes a team effort.
Man, it take a whole village.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It
Yeah,
takes a
I often say one generation gonna have to make sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's like our generation or a generation before or after, it's one generation gonna have to make sacrifice for the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
And until that happens, their entire lineage is going to continue to suffer. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying is that whether it's a single parent or a dual parent household, right? Somebody gotta make a sacrifice. It doesn't matter like the cards you dealt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life is not fair sometimes.
It's not.
You know, but you gotta, like I said, play the cards you dealt
You do.
and deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and I think it's all about perspective and focus. Like, whatever you focus on, that's what you're gonna have. So instead of focusing on what you don't have, you focus on what you have, and you know, you make memories from that and everything.
Yeah.
Because you can have these elaborate vacations, but one of our funnest trips was road trips. Our East Coast tour, as I say, but I mean, we had so much fun, and we did tourist stuff. We didn't do, we weren't laid up on a resort. I mean, don't get us wrong, we like that too, but we just did the tourist thing, but we had so much fun, and stuff. And at that moment, you could have easily focused on, well, this is not that, or this, and everything. But we focused on each other. That was like the best trip we had.
It's true though. We gotta stop making excuses.
Yeah.
Nobody should make excuses. I often say, excuses are the crutches of the uncommitted, right? And so excuses can become crutches. And so when we, like you mentioned previously, like when we didn't have financially, like we first had our first son David, we didn't let that stop us.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Never stopped us.
I would take David to, David beat me a lot. I would go to Chick-fil-A or McDonald's, and that Happy Meal, I may have $10. $5 in the tank, and I'm spending $5 on him.
And they play on the playground.
He play on the playground. They play
with the other
kids.
With the other kids.
You know what I'm saying?
And you never know that.
And they don't know your financial struggle.
Exactly.
Right. Why put their burden on them?
Exactly.
You frustrated because
and they stress.
You ain't got $100. They're taking that 10 and make just do with the 10.
Do what you gotta do.
Because the kid ain't worried about it.
And
again, if you focus on their future and not necessarily yours, you focus on building a life for them. I think that helps too when they have that thought process. It's just trying to make a better life for them. So, I told you a while back, I use the movie for motivation and inspiration all the time. The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh yeah.
I go back and watch that. And it seemed like every time when that man got that job, I think them probably the times when I feel like I'm not a crying dude, but with that part, it gets me.
Tearjerker.
It gets me.
Onions.
I get a little water,
Somebody cut some onions.
Like I'm in the kitchen cutting onions because, I can attest to it in some sense, but to see someone else's story, which was based off true story, to see that, portrayed out by, Will Smith, he did a great job because it really felt real. When I watch it, that's inspiration for me. Think about all the difficult things he could have done. He could have quit.
You think about how many times he could have quit.
How many times he just could have just gave up and just forget it. We're gonna just continue to come and get in this line and stay at the mission continuously. We're gonna do that. We're gonna, think about it. His son saw that too. But think about how he stayed focused on his goal. He provided what he could. I think about the sign, the first time they had nowhere to go and they had to sleep in the restroom. You know what I'm saying?
But they was together.
But they was, and think about, he made it seem like they were playing a game. Because he tried to protect the innocence.
They did.
You know what I'm saying?
He
tried to protect the innocence and instead of, it ain't for you to worry about. This for me to worry about. That was it. That's what I got from it. And like I said, to get to the point where he he took the intern and did, you know, did what he did and tried to make happen what happened. You know, you think about even the blessing. There was some came through when they got to go to the 49er game for free. Guy invited them, they went to the Sky Box. The kid gonna remember that the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when he go back and they really talk about how they came up, he'll realize that they didn't have what they had at that moment. So you don't realize it till you get older. You know, you talk about that. We didn't know the hood was the hood. You know, you just out playing.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
You go back and be like, man, I came from that. You know You know, it's just parenting is, like I say, it's no right way of doing it, but I just really think that being unselfish is so important. I always think that being unselfish, modeling, I just think those things are very important. You know, and I think anybody can, the rest of you can figure it out. You know, but you have to be, you have to be unselfish. And understand that I want more for them. You know, I know I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get. But I want them to take it to a next level. And it goes to sacrifice, like you said. A generation you got to sacrifice. You know, you know, sometimes you're not gonna always. You know, people can plan pregnancies, but pregnancies are not always planned.
You know what I'm saying? Yesterday.
It's not always planned, but you can plan them. But you know.
But then you have to adapt though, and like I said, they're not playing, but you didn't make excuses.
You didn't make excuses.
You don't make excuses. You got to step up and make those sacrifices. And do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to make that gourmet hamburger happen, man.
I'm telling you, I think by now. You know, I was into coaching when my daughter decided to play basketball. And I stopped because she wanted to start something in her life. So I stopped something in my life to help her start something in her life.
That's good. That's good.
You know? And I never coached again. You know, all while she been playing up to high school, she just got out of high school. So now, like I said, one more sign day was, now I got to find me something to do. So I go back into help coaching or something like that. But I sacrificed something that I was. I had goals to like get myself up to a certain level, and I had goals in coaching. I really did, you know. But she wanted to play, so I stepped down and stopped, so I can help her, you know, in her goals, her dreams to play basketball and be a good player. So, you know, you have to do those type of things, and you don't have to do what I did, but you still want to cultivate, you know, their dreams and aspirations. You know, you want to cultivate those things. So, you know, the sacrifices are needed. You know, as a parent, you have to sacrifice some things. You know, you have to sacrifice whether it may be monetary, it may be food, it may be, you know, it may be something.
Relations,
you know, some people talk about. I've heard people talk about sacrifice. Because you want to be.
They not at the game now. You see what I'm saying? Instead of at the movie, you know, my daughter got a game, my son got a. You have to make those type of sacrifices. You know. So you know, how was that adjustment for y'all? You know.
It was tough, and think about trying to, you know, it costs money to play. It costs a lot of money. And think about when you're not making the money
that you desire.
To make, and even making enough money to really make those things happen. You know, you got to be strategic. You know, you have to think about. I can't do this right now because this coming up. So I developed how to, you know. Think about 3 months in advance, 4 months. I know, you know, it's January, you know, she gonna start basketball travel, April. Is when they really kick off. So I need to be trying to prepare money.
That's good.
Because it's gonna cost this. If we're gonna stay in the hotel 3 nights or 2 nights, you know, we gotta eat for those days. Not just me eating, you know, it may be the whole family or it may just be me and her. You know, so I calculated, you know, I know once we went to South Carolina for a trip. That was she was after her freshman year, and we went, and I was like, well, I had to figure out, like, okay, lunch, we're gonna spend $10 a piece. It was just me and her. You know, we'll spend $10 a piece on lunch. Then dinner, you know, but that was a way of me budgeting
Yeah.
You know, she didn't necessarily know I was budgeting.
Yeah.
But I was budgeting to make sure that I can afford this trip.
Yeah.
So she can go and have this experience and this exposure to
Yeah.
help her with her dream.
The budgeting and bonding.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, budgeting let you bond. Yeah.
And you know, you think about it, you know, she enjoyed it. She had a great time. She played well. We enjoyed it. You know, it was probably the furthest she had been away from home, basketball wise at that time. And you know, it all paid off. You know? She going to school scholarship now, so it paid off. You know? So that's why you know, I think that when you do those things, you know, make those sacrifices, you know, like I said, the next generation get rewarded. You know, y'all can elaborate on that too, as far as making the sacrifices and doing the things you did for your son, who's taking off also. You know, in the music realm, you know, he's taking off and going somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, we had lessons on, you know, all of that. I mean, you know.
Yeah, like it's even. I mean, initially changing them over to when they went to private school, sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like we chose, like there's a car note. Then some.
Yes,
Then some.
that was kind of and car insurance.
So instead of me getting a new car, I'm just keeping the car we got this paid off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your kids don't know that. They just know that they going to a better school.
Yeah.
Right.
That's sacrifice. You know, not being selfish. You know, putting their goals and dreams ahead of yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to ride a new car. I want some cold AC. You know what I'm saying? You know,
that's one thing it did work.
But you know, but just going and doing that. You know what I'm saying? And those are type of decisions that you have to make
as parents. Yeah. And think about it. In addition to the private school, we were, you know, the music lessons. You know, buying the instruments and, you know.
Getting them to places that
sacrifice, and just, I mean, working and still at the same time trying to provide a life. You know what I'm saying? Make sure the home is still intact.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what goes into it. And so I think that's probably one of the biggest things you talked about was just, you know, that not being selfish.
Yeah.
You know, not being selfish.
Yeah. I just really believe that's what you got. You just have to be unselfish, man.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, being unselfish, you know, it doesn't. I think it helps you as a person too, because, you know, being unselfish, I think it helped me, you know, with marriage. You know, it helps too, you know, with that. So I think it would help you if you're a single person.
Yeah, right.
Unselfish may be an area you maybe need to work on.
Oh no, you cannot have a relationship being selfish.
You cannot.
Most people are single because they're selfish.
That's what.
That's the key.
That's the point.
And
selfish don't mean that you just want everything.
Yeah.
Selfish it's broad.
Right.
It's
really
is. Broad.
It's very.
Selfishness is not greediness.
No,
not necessarily.
No.
But selfishness is meaning that you're not willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And put somebody else in front of yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And those are things that help you get through the turbulence in your relationship. Like I said, you know, relationships are not perfect. We're not perfect people. We don't have perfect relationships. You have rocky times. But the unselfishness is what helps you to get through that. You know, that turbulence.
And individuality. Let the person have their individuality.
Yeah.
Right.
Not trying to make them be
not trying to make
who you want them to be.
Exactly.
You know, y'all may say if y'all may start out dating early. You know, we all change over the years. We all change, and I think when you make those changes, sometimes people grow apart because of the changes they made. You know, with one another.
Yeah.
But if you evolving and not changing, it's a difference.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, allow them space to grow.
Yeah. Allow them space to grow.
Right.
Allow them to be who they are.
Right.
You know, I think that's important too.
Right.
You know, allow a person to be who they are.
Right.
You know, I talked about that. We kind of had a conversation earlier about that.
Yeah.
About, you know, allowing, you know, we were talking about fashion and all that, about being, allowing the person to be, you know, fashion. I said that had a big point with it. I think that fashion has to do with your individuality. So
it does.
So that's why I say you let them be them, But I think if you're doing it on your end, they will return it. They'll return the same thing, And it may not be immediately.
That's true.
But they will return it because it just have to. I just think it's just something that takes over.
It's an investment.
It just takes over time. Because I don't think really in your mind you can sit back and a person is there for you and doing this and pushing you and cheering you on and you can just really sit back and be selfish. I don't think that's possible. I don't think it could be. Some people. I don't think I was just so unselfish when we were dating, or when we first got married. I thought about myself in some cases. You know what I'm saying? I thought about myself in some cases. I think when the family started with the kids, like I said, that helped me too in a sense. But I just think that
well, if a person is selfish, I say that their relationship ain't gonna be what it is. Not gonna last, or it's not gonna be what it's portrayed to be.
Yeah, I think and I think some people. I think it's a lot of people that are still together, or possibly they're selfish, but they're not gonna really talk about their relationship. They're not really close. You can't be close. I don't think they really have their talk. They deal with each other. Right. They deal with each other.
That's boring.
It'd be convenient too.
That's slow down, right?
The convenience that come with it. Some people deal with each other because, hey, I don't want to go pay all these bills by myself. You know what I'm saying? We going half on this or something. So, if they half and everything, or you got this part of the bill, I got their part of the bills, it could be that type of situation. Everybody do their household differently when it comes to finance, but that may be the case in some people why they don't let go or don't move forward.
I had to get 3 jobs. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I mean, that's that moment where you can be selfish. Well, you got to think about you. I'd rather have 3 jobs than, like she said, die slow down.
Some people they together, but they ain't on one accord. You know what I'm saying? They together, but they not on one accord. They don't have the same goals, aspirations, dreams. They just kind of existing, but they're not really living. You know what I'm saying? They're not living.
I agree.
There's and it's reflective. I think that's unhealthy. For individual relationships to be in that point to where you just going through the motions. You're not really. There's no growth, and a lot of times, like you said, for whatever reason, people stay together, and sometimes a person is so fearful of being alone that they kind of sweep stuff under the rug, and or they'll allow stuff to continue because the fear of being alone is more, in their mind, it's more harmful than being with somebody who's not faithful to them.
It leads to a lot of bad breakups, and especially if there are kids involved. Right. It leads to other stuff. Definitely. Sometimes it leads to, one, they playing the kids against each other. They portraying one to be the other person. That's the bad guy. That's the good guy role type deal.
Or it can lead to passing down those same unhealthy relationship choices. They're basically like saying, you said earlier, the kids, they watch. So the kids, they get to a certain age, they figure it out. They know what's going on. And so then a kid may say that this is acceptable. So if my daddy does this to my mom, or my mom does this to my daddy, then I can accept that in my relationship. And then that's an unhealthy relationship trait. It's passed down, and now they're in the same type of situation, that their parents in.
Man, I was talking the other day, we was riding, I said something about being able to, I was telling her about, you know, talking to my daughter about, you know, being prepared for the moment.
Yeah.
Just because it ain't a ride, you can't get ready.
Yeah, you gotta be ready.
You gotta be ready.
You tell you that.
You know,
you stay ready, you gotta get ready.
Yeah, the things you've been praying for, the blessing you want. If you ain't been prepping yourself, if God ever decide to drop that blessing,
right.
sometimes I think He'll drop it just to let you know this ain't what you want. You ain't ready for this.
Yeah, or let you know how much you're not ready for.
Yeah, and you get a taste of it, but you can never get back to it because you should have prepped yourself.
Yeah, you should have been ready for it.
Yeah, you got to prepare yourself.
Right.
I think that, you know, when it comes to, in my opinion, I know I'm a married guy, but I think in my case, in my mind, I think you have to prepare yourself as a single person.
Yeah.
I think you have to prepare yourself. If you desire to have a mate, I think you should prepare yourself for that.
Yeah.
I think you should prepare yourself, you know, learning how to understand that, you know, I got to learn how to listen more if you're a person that don't listen. You know, I got to learn how to be more sensitive or more kind or, you know, those sort of things. You can practice those things.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you can practice those things. You know, you want, you know, and if you're a single parent, you know, sometimes it's difficult to, you know, bringing in another parent, bringing another adult in the situation. I think that's difficult. You know, it's like for me, you know, my mom, you know, when she got married, you know, my brothers and my siblings, their dad, you know, think about it was me and my mom.
Right.
You know, and she got married. I may have been, I don't know, maybe 10, not even 10 yet. I don't think I was probably 8 or something. So you think about that, you know, and I don't know what kind of conversation they had with me already being there. You know, I don't know if they avoided some talks. I don't know if they had some talks.
Right.
You know, I don't know what was accepted, what wasn't accepted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, but I know today they're not married no more now.
Right.
So maybe the talks that they didn't have then is the reason why they had the ending that it had.
Right.
Because they didn't have those talks. So, you know, because I remember my mom telling me when I was dating, I think I was maybe 15, 16, that's the age you kind of get into girls more.
Right.
You know, and she told me then, she was like, you know, Dontè, you don't want to get with no ready-made family. And I didn't know what she meant. I was like, ready-made family? You know, what you mean?
Right.
She's like, you know, somebody's already got a child.
Right.
You know, she's like, because you ain't just dating that person.
Yeah.
You know, it's a package deal.
Yeah.
You know, that's what she told me.
Right. Or even if you do decide to date someone with a child, right? Like you're saying, there needs to be a conversation.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it needs to be a conversation, and they need to be able to be prepared to know what they're going into. You know, whether it's the baby daddy, you know, baby mama drama, whatever the case may be, that needs to be discussed openly, because it's a package deal. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully you marrying, you know, to stay together, not just to, you know, if you be temporary, just keep dating. You know what I'm saying? You know,
and I think they kind of came from her situation.
Right.
The reason why she kind of spoke on that too.
Right,
you know, later on I thought about that. You know, I thought about like,
Yeah.
you know what, she was a female with a son.
Right.
You know, and got married, so maybe they maybe didn't have the, like you said, the talks, the discussions, the communication.
Right.
You know, and so from her experience, you know, that's probably something she didn't want her child to experience.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how she go by her experience.
Her experience is what she, you know, and that's most of what we give our advice is. That's where our wisdom comes from. Is from our experience. If you went through something, you can definitely have great advice for someone.
Right.
And I think that was her point of kind of making that deal was, you know, she probably wanted better for me.
Yeah.
Start out fresh. I didn't start out fresh.
Yeah.
You start out fresh.
Yeah.
That may
Basically
have been
saying
a
better.
message. Yeah.
It's easier.
She probably
It
think
is.
it was
Definitely.
a better deal because
Right.
that's your child. Y'all develop it together, and you know that sort of deal. So I think that's what she was really. That was her true message.
Definitely.
Not in so many words, but I just remember that phrase.
Right.
You know, I don't remember the whole conversation, but I remember like it's a lot
Her
of
saying
little
that.
things she said to me.
Right.
It wasn't a long conversation, but it was like phrases.
Different things stuck out.
It stuck
Out of
You
out of
know,
those
like I said
conversations.
earlier,
Right.
She told me, don't date a lazy woman.
Right.
Don't get with a lazy woman.
Right.
You know, and as I told when I was saying, I think guys, we have a chart.
Mm-hmm.
We have things that we value. When we choosing a woman, I think you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may just have 3. If they
Right.
got them 3,
Right.
you rolling with like, yeah, that's gotta be it. You
Right.
know?
Right.
We visual already, so we already attracted to what we saw. So
You
that
said
right there,
that.
that don't even go on the list because
Right.
you visually picking them right then and there. So that don't go on the list.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Visual. Yeah.
Don't go on the list.
It's like
So
that.
but then you go into the qualities, the characteristics that you know, like I said, that was a big thing. She said, "Don't get a lazy woman." You know, that was one we dated when we were dating. You know, she was a young lady that worked for everything she wanted.
Right.
She wanted something. She didn't mind going to work for it. She didn't mind going to work. She worked at fast food. She worked at cashier at the grocery store. She did those things. So, but I'm just saying, you know, some people don't look at those, you know, as they don't glorify those jobs. You know, you look at those
Yeah.
jobs.
No,
Some people
yeah,
feel
good.
like, hey, that's beneath me. I'm not. If
Nah.
I can't, you know,
You gotta do what you gotta do though. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I ain't
And you
doing
learn.
it.
You learn a lot of lessons though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So,
We know
you know,
early jobs.
Hey, at one point she had 3 jobs.
Right. Right.
So you think about it, if that's something my mom said that stuck with me, hey, that's one of my top 3. So
Yeah.
boom, man, she went to
got
work.
it,
So I
yeah.
know we
Right.
gonna get this thing together one way or the other. Not
Right.
only that, with me, I know what I'm capable of, and I see she ain't hesitate. She gonna go get what she wants. She willing to work for it. So
Yeah.
that was one of the things. So
Right.
you know, you gotta. That's one of the things you do. You pick an individual. You looking at those traits.
Yeah.
You picking those traits. That was, like I said, that was one that stood out. You know, and then you just, if you have it,
Kinda go with it, yeah.
You go from there.
And you have to, you know, of course, you know, I think we said this first broadcast. We talked about women, you know, definitely women being, you know, strong.
Yeah.
You know, but and one thing I would try to help a lot of single women on is you have to be able to bend,
Yeah.
but don't break.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some of them think they so rigid. That's why they ain't got no man.
Mm.
You ain't bending. You got to bend some.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't break.
Don't
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
one of the things that attracted me to her was the things that she didn't let me do.
Yeah.
She didn't let me get away with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but she did bend some.
Yeah.
You know,
But
she didn't break.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
She like, hold
saying?
on, all right, I
Yeah.
did this,
But you can't just be like, you know, like military. This. No, I'm not
We're
gonna
not
do
doing
this.
that.
Yeah. You gotta have a list, but you gotta write your list in pencil and not pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to erase some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
That's good.
Yeah, because you have to be realistic about it.
Right.
You know,
You really
Right.
do. You know.
because it's rare. I'm not gonna say it won't happen or can't happen,
Right.
but your list can be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. It's rare to get
It's
everything.
rare to get everything
you
got-
on your list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go with that, sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta go with that 75%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
None-
Give me,
none
give me
negotiable.
3 out of 2. I mean,
Yeah.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, you
you
got
know?
your non-negotiable.
Yeah, non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Them
definitely.
first 1, 2, or 3 probably your non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
After
Right.
that-
Then them other 2.
After that, just a bonus.
We can-
Yeah.
yeah.
If it happens, it's
That's
cool. But
good.
if not, then you got
Right.
you got to learn, and that's the way. That's a good way because compromise is often viewed as a bad word,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but it's not.
It's
If
not.
you want your relationship to last, you got to
You gotta
compromise.
You have to
compromise.
compromise.
You're gonna have to compromise.
Yeah.
And people that ain't compromise, well, that's why you single.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
why you be by yourself, be old,
Yeah.
gray, miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Turn
saying?
off the reality shows.
Right.
Turn off what you view. You
Right.
know, I see all this about relationship goals.
Right.
And I mean, I see some good qualities as a wife, but
Right.
you have to create your own moments.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
create your thing. You
Yeah.
can't look at someone else because, like I said, social media has so much negativity to
Yeah.
it. What you see it's not really what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just not real relationship with everything.
Post all they faults.
Yeah, everybody's not posting their faults.
On Facebook, I'm only gonna post everything that I messed up and did bad.
Yeah, no
one. This is the worst day. I don't.
Says no one.
Right. You gotta sit down and talk to people like that don't mind sharing and being transparent about some things that they went through, about how they made it over. You know, so
that's true.
What's that song? Can't hurry love. You just have to wait. It's a game of give and take.
Yeah.
That's it. I was like, I was trying to get to that part.
It's true. It is though.
It's give and take.
You had to continue to give. You got to continue to take.
And
the reality of it is, some people who say they want to build a relationship, they really don't. Cause they're not willing to change.
They're not willing to change.
They're not really.
They would love to have it, but they're not willing.
They're not really change. They're selfish. They just, they like their life the way it is. And they want
somebody to conform to what they got going on.
Yeah, but they don't want to do no conforming.
No. It's me. You gotta take me as is. But you think you finna meet this Prince Charming that make $250,000 a year or something? Or millionaire. Nah,
you can't go to build a bear and build a man over.
That's a good one.
You can't go to build a bear.
You can't build a husband.
Or a wife. You just you can't do it.
Right. That's true.
You know.
And I think that some people, and then sometimes I think some people that I've seen, they come from past experiences. They may have been married before. They don't want to go that route no more because maybe it didn't work, or maybe they didn't. They like, nah. There may be some fear in there.
But that's the thing about being healed, getting healed. On some things, you need to be getting healed before you even trying to pursue another relationship.
That's true.
Be healed.
But some people don't understand it. Sometimes, and you got to always look into their mirror too. You got to look at, what did I miss? Because nobody, anytime a breakup or divorce, it's never 100% one person.
It's not. Never.
It's never 100% one person. Even though one another may feel that way about it. Like it was all her fault, or it was all his fault. Or
he
if they didn't do this, he cheated, and he I can't get past that. You can't get. You probably can't. That might have been, but was that a deal breaker that you discussed though? That's got to be. If they, I guarantee you with a guy, if they know that's a deal breaker, I think that'll stitch in their mind. And which most guys know, but women are so forgiving. I think you all are so forgiving in so many areas. Like you said, the bend don't break thing. So they're so forgiving. So if a guy may step out or do something or cheat, he thinking she love me, she ain't gonna, she ain't gonna go nowhere.
Nah, bro.
Especially, she ain't gonna go nowhere.
I've heard of
but that may have been the break for her.
When
you not even knowing that was a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying?
And then you got to be careful too what you let in, because think about, I've heard people giving people a hall pass. A hall pass.
So what?
A hall pass.
What's a hall pass?
What do you do then?
So a hall pass is where they basically allow their significant other, boyfriend, whoever it is at the time.
Like a died cheat day.
I can't even relate it to a died cheat day because
like a died cheat day, right?
I can bounce back from a died cheat day. But a hall pass, I can't.
That's like letting something else into your man.
Where you just don't bring it to the house?
Pretty much. You just go do you.
Yeah. But then when you open the door, so you might say, okay, one time, but that one made me 10.
But that's a soul tie.
Yeah, it is soul tie, definitely.
You're right.
And you thinking about it, like you say, you open that door.
Yeah.
And you open the door to something else. How did you think he just gonna shut that door? I don't know. Do one time?
I mean, some of this like new age stuff.
She cool with it.
Yeah.
It take one time to feel like, man. You may have been saying that was one time for you, but it's like, you let me do it once, why I can't do it again?
Right. And I say to people who do what you do, cause people, you grown, whatever.
Yeah.
At least you think you're
your own relationship.
But why get married?
Yeah.
Just stay wherever y'all are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Netflix buddies or whatever y'all want to call it.
Yeah.
Netflix and chill.
Just stay there. But don't. Marriage is exclusivity.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It
It's
is.
about one man, one woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One man, one woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Coming together and becoming one and building something.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what marriage is. And so, but if you don't want that, that's cool. Do you. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But don't try to make marriage something else.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't try to redefine. Don't try to
Redefine it.
call a hamburger a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
It ain't what it is.
It ain't.
You put lettuce, pickle, but all this stuff you want on there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, still ain't no chicken sandwich. And that's what people try. Exactly. Now, you said something deep right there. Right. It ain't gonna be what you think it's gonna be, because them you trying to create your own definition of marriage, and God is the author of that. When you try to do that, it ain't gonna work. It's gonna be destruction.